learn more about leadership, have fun, make new friends, and step out of my comfort zone.
Which has provided my chapter the opportunity.
Here's our target. We'll shoot an azimuth and head out. All in.
Great drill weekend, everyone. See y'all again next month.
See what your future could look like by going to nationalguard.com/SD.
Please rise and remove cover as Ben Stevix and Carissa Ring, members of the Gregory County FFA chapter, play the national anthem. FFA members, advisors, and guests, get on your feet and get excited for our 2025-2026 State Officer Team. Your State Sentinel from the Lennox Sunstrom FFA chapter, Skyler Plucker. Your State Reporter from the Tri-Valley FFA chapter, Ireland McAravey. Your State Treasurer from the Beersford FFA chapter, Elena Andrews. Your State Secretary from the Sisseton FFA chapter, Kay Meyer. Your State Vice President from the Brookings FFA chapter, Josie. And your State President from the Lennox Sunstrom FFA chapter, Tyler Strasser.
The convention hall will come to order. We are now holding this, the third session of the 98th South Dakota FFA State Convention. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Mr. President. The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there.
Through this door, past many friends of the FFA, it is my duty to see that the doors open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the President in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there.
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements, just as Washington kept his farm accounts carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there.
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I am asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Mr. President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
There are 2,586 members and guests present. Mr. President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this, the third session of the 98th South Dakota FFA State Convention, duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented.
next two chairs not only share a deep love for Panda Express, but also for Hamilton. While one has a soft spot for pigs and wouldn't trade them for the world, the other would choose cattle any day of the week, no questions asked. Despite their livestock differences, there's one thing that these two will always have in common. They love ranch. Together, they bring our team laughter and joy, serving as our state secretary and state treasurer. Please welcome to the stage the chairs for the third session, Kate Meyer and Lainey Andrews.
Lainey, stationed at the emblem of Washington, not be the emblem of Washington.
Kate, this is the 98th South Dakota FFA State Convention. We have to go all out. I even got you a costume.
Oh, Lainey, you really shouldn't have.
It's so corny, isn't it?
All right, enough jokes. We have serious matters to attend to, like the anniversary of past state officer teams and members who are working hard this year on the Proficiencies and Agra Science. We'd also like to give a big South Dakota FFA welcome to our sponsor, the U.S. Army.
We will also be recognizing our distinguished service and honorary state degree recipients, along with our Star District Greenhands.
We will also meet our star finalists and hear retiring addresses from our state vice president, Josie Nold, and our state sentinel, Skyler Plucker. We don't have time to mess around.
We are not starting this session until you put your costume on.
Fine.
Now we are ready to introduce the past state officers and anniversary teams who have influenced the South Dakota FFA the same way like Washington influenced America.
Madam Vice President, will you please introduce South Dakota FFA's past state officers?
Serving from 1960 to 1969, not on an anniversary team. 1959 to 1960, Marvin Watzel. (1964 to 1965, Kent Frericks. Serving from 1970 to 1979, not on an anniversary team. 1971 to 72, Mark Christensen. And Gary Bueller. 1974 to 75, Jerry Hofer. 1978 to 79, Bruce Patterson. Serving from 1990 to 1999, not on an anniversary team. 1996 to 1997, Ryan Kamak.
1996 to 1997, Kelly Rasmussen, Ryan Kamak, Misty Williams, Travis Schuring, Sherry Moeller, and Tara Hoffman. Serving in the 2000s, not on an anniversary team, Micah Hansen, Jack Anderson, Kim Franken, Josh Henn, Lane Wheating, Brad Beese, Jamie Swan, Jared Knock, Kelly O'Donnell, Ryan Bruner, Sarah Stratmeyer, Mary Kurtz, Jesse Gieb, Arnie Harstad, Crystal Nielsen, Jesse Larson, Chelsea Budd, Shane Renelou, Becky Lambert, Jason Frerick, Krissa Zink, Nick Foshheim, Etta Balo, and Alex Welk. Brett Monson, Aaron Kennedy, Sarah Berg, Matt Dibidall, Noel Rist, Josh Johnson. (2009 to 2010), Brady Duxbury, April Bauer, Sadie Vanderwall, Hadley Bowick, and Jada Paulson. Our 60th year anniversary team, serving from 1965 to 1966, Keith Goodwin, Laddie Shrew, Dwayne Grease, Ronnie Reard, Lee Rist, and Leonard Jerk. Our 55th year anniversary team, serving from 1970 to 1971, Gary L. Hansen, Albert Hansen, Everett Evers, Ronald M. Nelson, Kenneth L. Kittleson, Steve Leheska. Our 50th year anniversary team, serving from 1975 to 1976, Galen Keller, Steve Enger, Linda Nelson, Phil Tesh, Randy Buller, Ronald Bone. Our 40th year anniversary team, serving from 1985 to 1986, Joe Giovante, Glenn Ennander, Michelle Rook, Gene Nelson, Paula Massett, and Brad Rudin. Our 30th year anniversary team, serving from 1995 to 1996, Janelle Stu, Susie Lutter, Dusty Okendoven, Carrie Vogtavine, John Peterson, Craig Wingquist. Our 25th year anniversary team, serving from 2000 to 2001, Clay Edwards, Brian Cooper, Andrea Klein, Elliot Jensen, Sarah Anderson, and Zach Rada. Our 20th year anniversary team, serving from 2005 to 2006, Travis Lape, Holly Marshall, Michelle Osterman, Cody Chambliss, Molly Fendrick, and Megan Whitney. Our 10th year anniversary team, serving from 2005 to 2016, Jonathan Linke, Shane Mueller, Andrea Scholblum, Jordan Howe, and Jeanette Linke. Our 5th year anniversary team, serving from 2020 to 2021, Ryder Mortensen, Hunter Eide, Derby Bowick, Jackson McFadden, Samantha Olson, and Elizabeth DeBoer. Thank you all for your service to the South Dakota FFA Association.
You know who really understood hard work?
Alexander Hamilton?
Exactly. I mean, why do you write like you're running out of time? That's basically our proficiency applicants.
Seriously, while most people are sleeping, these members are tracking hours, managing enterprises, and perfecting their SAE projects.
They are not throwing away their shot.
Not even close. They've invested time, sweat, leadership, and more spreadsheets than we'd like to count.
Proficiency awards don't just happen. They represent years of early mornings, late nights, and the willingness to go above and beyond.
These members didn't wait for opportunities, they created them.
By building businesses, strengthening communities, and proving that agricultural education is more than a class. It's a commitment.
So while Hamilton built a legacy through determination,
these members are building theirs through hard work, resilience, and a passion for agriculture.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is our honor to introduce to you Proficiency Set 2.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became America's best-selling trucks. And we've kept that title every year since. F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years. And Ford, the most awarded brand for initial quality among trucks by J.D. Power.
Current and qualified Ford owners get $7,500 in total savings on a new 2026 Ford F-150. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Equine Science Entrepreneurship is sponsored by Amani Rainers, Tim Anderson, and Kim Nivel, Millbank. In third place, from Brookings, Josie Nold. In second place, from Parker, Clayton Pankratz. And in first place, from the Parkston FFA chapter, Ellie Gehring. Congratulations. Equine Science Placement is sponsored by Scott Kamak, Don Nagel, Susan Sudero, and Webster FFA. In third place, from McCook Central, Mandy Schock. In second place, from Howard, Taya Wetloffer. And in first place, from the Bridgewater Emory FFA chapter, Cash Martinez. Congratulations. Fiber and/or soil production entrepreneurship placement is sponsored by South Dakota Soybean Research and Promotion Council. In third place, from Howard, Drew Endorf. In second place, from McCook Central, Carly Stiefvater. And in first place, from the Bridgewater Emory FFA chapter, Benjamin Weber. Congratulations. Forage Production Entrepreneurship Placement is sponsored by Kicker Seed Farms, Inc. of Webster. In third place, from McCook Central, Isaac Chase. In second place, from McCook Central, Luke Horstman. And in first place, from the McCook Central FFA chapter, Carly Stiefvater. Congratulations. Forest Management and Products is sponsored by the South Dakota FFA Foundation. In first place, from the Tri-Valley FFA chapter, Major Richter. Congratulations. Fruit Production Entrepreneurship Placement is sponsored by MyFruitSales.com. In second place, from McCook Central, Renee Uberty. And in first place, from the Wessington Springs FFA chapter, Luke Larson. Congratulations. Go Production Entrepreneurship Placement is sponsored by Hamlin Farms of Hitchcock, South Dakota, and Gullickson Family Livestock. In third place, from Lake Preston, Britton Davies. In second place, from Bridgewater Emory, Cash Martinez. And in first place, from the Wessington Springs FFA chapter, Isabel Kolosik. Congratulations. Grain Production Entrepreneurship Placement is sponsored by Andrew and Vicky Streff Farms Trading Company, Midwest Grain Marketing, and South Dakota Wheat Commission. In third place, from McCook Central, Isaac Chase. In second place, from Bridgewater Emory, Benjamin Weber. And in first place, from the McCook Central FFA chapter, Luke Horstman. Congratulations. Home and Community Development Entrepreneurship Placement is sponsored by Beal Distributing. In third place, Reese Rodebush from Howard. In second place, from Tri-Valley, Ethan Koopman. And in first place, from the McCook Central FFA chapter, Nolan Mutzinger. Congratulations. Landscape Installation Entrepreneurship Placement is sponsored by Farmhouse Fraternity, South Dakota State University. In second place, from Howard, Nolan Mensley. And in first place, from the Harrisburg FFA chapter, Hayden Mathis. Congratulations. Nursery Operations Entrepreneurship Placement is sponsored by Twin City Region Northland Ford Dealers. In second place, from Tri-Valley, Emma Dissing. And in first place, from the Bridgewater Emory FFA chapter, Macy Weber. Congratulations. Outdoor Recreation Entrepreneurship Placement is sponsored by Jack's Campers, Central Dakota Guide Services, and South Dakota Walleye Charters. In third place, from Tri-Valley, Brindley Hansen. In second place, from Brookings, Ava Kauser. And in first place, from the Howard FFA chapter, Lacey Weber. Congratulations. Poultry production entrepreneurship placement is sponsored by Joshua Johnson and the South Dakota Poultry Industry Association. In third place from Parker, Sage Vogley. In second place from Brookings, Josie Knowles. And in first place from the Sioux Valley FFA chapter, Brooke Bierke. Congratulations. Service Learning Entrepreneurship Placement is sponsored by Dr. Laura Hasselquist and Toby Euchre, South Dakota Farmers Union. In third place from Bridgewater Emory, Katrina Tone. In second place from Florence, James Conkey. And in first place from the Howard FFA chapter, Reese Rudebush. Congratulations. Sheep Production Entrepreneurship Placement is sponsored by Newell Rams Sale, Rufus and Patty DeZeo. In third place from Howard, Melanie Kalmus. In second place from McCook Central, Colton Stiefvater. And in first place from the Bridgewater Emory FFA chapter, Landon Berg. Congratulations. Small Animal Production and Care Entrepreneurship Placement is sponsored by Salem Veterinary Service, South Dakota Veterinary Medical Association, South Dakota Rabbit Breeders Association, and Bob and Sandy Renale. In third place from the Bridgewater Emory FFA chapter, Taylor Hawley. In second place from Howard, Clayton Weber. And in first place from the Brandon Valley FFA chapter, Julia Tinker. Congratulations. Specialty Animal Production Entrepreneurship Placement is sponsored by the Wendy Mortensen Agency, American Family. In third place from Bridgewater Emory, Oakley Weber. In second place from Bridgewater Emory, Joseph Kaiser. And in first place from the Viborg Hurley FFA chapter, Bridget Benst. Congratulations. Specialty Crop Production Placement is sponsored by Hansmeyer Son Inc. and House Seed Inc. In second place from Wessington Springs, Mercedes Jones. And in first place from the Miller FFA chapter, Briley Woolman. Congratulations. Swine Production Entrepreneurship is sponsored by South Dakota Pork Producers Council. In third place from Arlington, Caden Phelps. In second place from Howard, Clayton Weber. And in first place from the Howard FFA chapter, Addison Fedler. Congratulations. Swine Production Placement is sponsored by Growmaster, Kevin and Sandy Ortberg, and Kathy Knopf. In third place from the Howard FFA chapter, Lacey Weber. In second place from Tri-Valley, Chase Jones. And in first place from the Howard FFA chapter, Melanie Kalmus. Congratulations. Turf Grass Management Entrepreneurship Placement is sponsored by Milborn. In third place from Harrisburg, Evan Clemmy. In second place from McCook Central, Carly Klinkhammer. And in first place from the Sioux Valley FFA chapter, Jackson Schlimmer. Congratulations. Vegetable Production Entrepreneurship Placement is sponsored in memory of Bill and Stella Hansen by Clark and Lila Hansen. In third place from McCook Central, Haley Highmiller. In second place from Harrisburg, Trenton Tisla. And in first place from the Brookings FFA chapter, Ava Kauser. Congratulations. Veterinary Science Entrepreneurship Placement is sponsored by Salem Vet Service. In third place, from Madison Central, Aiden Clowan. In second place, from McCook Central, Colton Stiefvater. And in first place, from the Bellfish FFA chapter, Atlee Olson. Congratulations. Wildlife Production and Management Entrepreneurship is sponsored by Craig and Maureen Weinkoff. In third place, from Northwestern area, Allie Hookman. In second place, from Bridgewater Emory, Caden Schultz. And in first place, from the Howard FFA chapter, Corbin Schumacher. Congratulations to all of our Proficiency winners.
Hi, I'm Allie Kauser from the Brookings FFA chapter.
Hi, I'm Ray Sanders from the Hot Springs FFA chapter.
And I'm Clayton Nelson from the Brookings FFA chapter.
Last year as a freshman, I met Josie and we developed a sister-like relationship during state LDEs. And ever since then, she has been my biggest role model in FFA. In only 1 year of getting to know Josie, the impact she made on me is huge. I can't think of a time in or out of school when she didn't answer a phone call, a text, or even lend a helping hand. She has encouraged me to be more than just average, pushing me to do more than expected and to do it to the best of my ability. The leadership and determination Josie has taught me has helped me to become a better person in and out of FFA.
I first met Josie at West River Leadership Retreat this past summer, and our friendship started with chaos, swing dancing, and a whole lot of laughter. This summer, she taught me all kinds of new dances, my favorite being the spin proposal. But what means more are the deeper conversations we shared between the fun. We may never agree about Mountain Dew or Dr. Pepper, but I think we can agree she brings energy and laughter to every room, but also knows how to slow down and truly listen. What started as summer mischief turned into a genuine, meaningful friendship I really value.
I met Josie my freshman year in 2022. When I met her, she and I developed a sibling-like relationship which includes its share of disagreements, side quests, a near-death experience, and lots of fun. In FFA, Josie has been the role model that I needed, helping me to develop my leadership skills and to just have fun. When I think of all the things that Josie has taught me and shown me, it reminds me of just how important it is to have family that you get to choose.
South Dakota FFA, please join me in welcoming my role model,
my friend,
my chosen sister, and your 2025-2026 State Vice President, with her retiring address, Be Where Your Feet Are.
September 8th, 2024, a day that shook my outlook on life. It starts completely normal. I go to work, I saddle up some 3-year-olds, and I take them out to the arena, just as I've done hundreds of times before. I wait a few minutes, and then my boss and my coworker come to join me. I go to the fence, grab a Palomino gelding named Boone. I slip the bit in his mouth, the bridle over his ears, grabbed the reins, and a fistful of mane. But as soon as pressure hits the stirrup, he shies, trying to get away from me. I just hop along beside him until he calms down. This time, when I put my foot in the stirrup, I quickly swing my right leg over the saddle. I nudge him forward, and he takes off running. But nothing I can't control. I pull him back around into the fence and let him calm down again. Huge sigh of relief. Everything is going to be okay. He's just young. He just needs to get the jitters out. I know what I'm doing. I nudge him forward again, but this time he takes off running and bucking across the arena, and there is nothing I can do to regain control. All I can do is hold on for dear life. Next thing I know, I am flying through the air. My feet, they are not there. And then my head hits the ground really, really hard. I open my eyes, and the whole world is spinning uncontrollably. There's sand in my teeth, and all I can think about is that morning could have been the last time I told my parents I loved them, the last time I pet my dog, the last time I walked into the barn, or even the last time I stepped into the saddle. Now, obviously, I went into senior year with a pretty bad concussion, but I also went in with a reminder that things happen really fast. And this year was going to be a year of many lasts. My last homecoming, my last first day of school, my last football game. And I was determined to enjoy these moments. I keep this mindset, and then as we all know, comes the stress of homework, scholarships, college applications, and everything else. And before I know it, it's the end of October, and I am in Indianapolis at my senior National FFA convention. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't remember that convention. Because while I was there, all I could think about, on Friday, I had to fly from Indianapolis to Rapid City and run my last ever state cross-country meet. I fly to Rapid City, I run that race. It's hot, it's gross, yuck. But what I remember is crossing the finish line and hugging my teammates, realizing that this is the last time I will run for the sport I have dedicated over 3,000 miles to. The last time that I will run with girls that have been by my side for over 6 years. Driving home that night, I started to understand that my senior year was flying by faster than I could control, and I wasn't even remembering it. So once again, I told myself that I needed to slow down and enjoy these moments. So I start going back to school, everything's okay, and then comes the stress of scholarships, of school, homework, everything, what I'm going to do next. And it's February. It is the week before National FFA Convention, National FFA Week. I am sitting at my desk with my computer and a to-do list about this long. I cross the last thing off that list, slam my computer shut, and head toward the door. I'm about to walk out when I'm stopped and told one of my friends passed away the night before. I stood there in shock, trying to hold back the tears, as I realized yesterday morning would be the last conversation I would have with him. The last time that we would laugh together, and the last time that he would give me some goofy piece of advice. That day, I realized that things were flying by so fast. There are so many things that we enjoy and time with people that we love that we take for granted. Those were moments I could never get back. That day, I promised myself that I was going to be where my feet were and enjoy the moments that I had doing what I loved with the people I loved. I took that promise into the rest of my senior year and into state office, where I found myself at West River Camp. It was hot, sunny, but there was no humidity. I was surrounded by all of you guys and my teammates. I was on top of the world. I meet my small group, connect with the rest of the members during mealtime, and then my teammates and I start preparing for session 2. 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton comes on. I go to the session hall doors, swing them open, and give high fives, hyping members up. When an individual asks me, "Are you actually having fun, or is the smile on your face fake?" Whoa. I gave her a funny look before quickly responding, "Of course I'm having fun. I love what I'm doing. My teammates and I build each other up." But for the rest of camp, and even to this day, that question stays at the back of my mind. Not because I wasn't having fun, but because I realized for the first time in a long time, I was living in the moment. I was where my feet were. I wasn't worried about yesterday or stressed about tomorrow. I was on top of the world. When I sat down to think about a message we all need to hear, I thought back to West River Camp and how much I loved it. And then I thought back to the times in my life where everything could have changed in an instant. To that September day in the dirt when I hit the ground so hard I didn't know if I'd get back up. To my senior national FFA convention I don't even remember. To my last ever state cross-country meet, and even to losing a good friend. You see, until something like this happens to us, we don't understand that our life is flying uncontrollably fast, and we don't take the time to enjoy these moments. I know all of you, or most of you, competed yesterday and today and are probably stressed out and just want to hear results. Or you're worried about past mistakes and missed opportunities, or stressed about tomorrow and what you're going to do next. But forget it. None of that matters. What matters is the people around you that love you and the things that you love to do. The support system of friends, teammates, families, advisors. Because the reality is yesterday is already gone. The future is not yet here. The only moment you have is the one in front of you right now. So let's tell our parents we love them. Parents, tell your kids how proud you are of them. Take the extra minute to pick up the phone, send that text, or give somebody a hug, because you never know when you won't be able to do it again. South Dakota FFA, be where your feet...
Josie, thank you for always keeping us on task and being our team motivator and personal chef. You always kept us energized, even at 4 in the morning, making sure our milk consumption stayed high, but our cheese consumption stayed even higher. As our expert packer, you were always prepared, and your genuine love for members truly radiates. It helped carry us through some of the most stressful moments. And always remember, as moments turn to memories, our love will last endlessly. Love, Skyler, Tyler, Kate, Lainey, and Ireland. South Dakota FFA, our 2025-2026 State Vice President, Josie Nold.
Mr. E and Miss Anna, you've always supported my wild ideas, even when they were definitely silly and probably unheard of. Thank you for always standing beside me no matter what, even when those decisions started my hair on fire or ended with me in the shock drain. Going through this year of service and my FFA career, I've been constantly reminded of you. Your belief in me has always kept me going. Mr. Johnson and Mrs. Dykstra, thank you for always pushing me and sometimes shoving me to keep going and to try harder, for being a listening ear, for allowing me to spend hours at your desks filling out papers, and for being a strong shoulder when needed. I'll admit I certainly caused my share of shenanigans, but you just laughed through it and shook your heads. Thank you all for supporting me through the highs and lows, for always offering advice and putting up with my dairy obsession and absurd cheese consumption. South Dakota FFA, please help me in thanking my advisors, Mr. Gary Elsinger, Ms. Anna Marie Sachs, Mr. Josh Johnson, and Mrs. Michelle Dykstra. Mary and Emily, although you both left awfully big shoes to fill, I couldn't be more grateful. Thank you for showing me that life will throw things at you, but you can always get up stronger than before. We may not have always seen eye to eye, but you've taught me that enough passion and grit can get you through anything. Mom, thank you for always believing in me even when I couldn't, for being my biggest supporter and going out of your way to push me to my best. In the lows of life, you reminded me that I am capable of anything, and in the highs, you keep me grounded and remind me that everything comes from the work and effort you've dedicated. Your unwavering support, your patience, and hard work ethic are like none other. I hope that one day I can be half the woman you are. Dad, our long drives to sheep and horse shows, shooting sports events, and even our trek through the airport brought many conversations that allowed me to see the world through a different set of eyes. Thank you for always having my back, but more for teaching me the importance of being independent and that I am capable even when others don't think so. South Dakota FFA, it is my honor to introduce my parents, Jerry and Rosie Nold, and present them with their honorary state degrees.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
All right, Kate, costumes on, wigs powdered, history made. Let's march forward because this session is moving faster than Washington crossing the Delaware.
Lainey, I swear, if you say one more historical metaphor.
Too late. Speaking of bold moves and big ideas, it's time to announce our members who are shaping the future of agriculture through science, research, and innovation.
That's right. At this time, we are proud to introduce Agra Science Fair Set 2, honoring members who stepped up, asked big questions, and turned their curiosity into meaningful projects. Let's introduce our Agra Science finalists.
On April 8th, South Dakota FFA members met in person to present their agri-science research projects, competing in 6 different categories in 6 different divisions. Within each category, members each developed a scientific experiment relating to a question in the agriculture industry, submitted a full research report including their abstract, methods, discussions, conclusions, results, references, and more. Additionally, members created a display board to present their findings when asked rigorous questions by judges. This year, we had 196 projects, 276 members at the State Agri-Science Fair. The Agri-Science Fair is made possible through the South Dakota FFA Foundation, with sponsors specific to each category. Let's recognize the second half of our Agri-Science finalists.
Plant systems is a study of plant life cycles, classifications, functions, structures, reproduction, media and nutrients, as well as growth and cultural practices through the study of crops, turfgrass, trees, shrubs, and/or ornamental plants. Division 1 and 2 are 7th and 8th grade projects and are sponsored by Next Level Ag, Dan and Sherry Conkey, Bayer, and the South Dakota Corn Utilization Council. Division 1's members have individual projects. In 3rd place, from McCook Central, Easton Truffle. In 2nd place, from McCook Central, Charlotte Cook. And in 1st place, from the Dolan FFA chapter, Emery Ram. Congratulations. Division 2 members have team projects. In 3rd place, from McCook Central, Nicholas Richards and Jacob Knorr. In 2nd place, from Montrose, Jacob Wibersick and Skyler Seibert. And in 1st place, from the Tri-Valley FFA chapter, David Graney and Drew Christensen. Congratulations. Plant Systems Division 3 and 4 are 9th and 10th grade projects and are sponsored by Central Farmers Cooperative, Purist, and the First National Bank in Sioux Falls. Division 3 members have individual projects. In 3rd place, from West Central, Emery Hartman. In 2nd place, from Dolan, Brody Buzma. And in 1st place, from the Bellefouche FFA chapter, Casey Dobesh. Congratulations. Division 4 members have team projects. In 2nd place, from West Central, Aiden Luth and Chase Stromer. And in 1st place, from the West Central FFA chapter, Jocelyn Stahl and Caden Finch. Congratulations. Plant Systems Division 5 and 6 are 11th and 12th grade projects and are sponsored by Dan and Sherry Conkey and the South Dakota Soybean Research and Promotion Council. Division 5 members have individual projects. In 3rd place, from West Central, Knason Johnson. In 2nd place, from West Central, Eva Healy. And in 1st place, from the Sisseton FFA chapter, Chesney Anderson. Congratulations. Division 6 members have team projects. In 3rd place, from West Central, Blake Tushin and Darren Beck. In 2nd place, from McCook Central, Maggie Kaufman and Kaylee Kaufman. And in 1st place, from the Florence FFA chapter, Dawson Lanjon and James Conkey. Congratulations. Power, Structure, and Technical Systems is a study of agricultural equipment, power system, alternative fuel sources, and precision technology, as well as woodworking, metalworking, welding, and project planning for agricultural structures. Divisions 1 and 2 are 7th and 8th grade projects and are sponsored by Meyer Rink Farm Services. Division 1 members have individual projects. In 3rd place, from Leola, Tucker Weezar. In 2nd place, from Doland, Jace Smith. And in 1st place, from the Doland FFA chapter, Wyatt Lambert. Congratulations. Division 2 members have team projects. In 2nd place, from McCook Central, Jacob Osterberg and Dagan Uberty. And in 1st place, from the Tri-Valley FFA chapter, Austin Kirschman and William Richter. Congratulations. Power, Structure, and Technical Systems Division 3 and 4, 9th and 10th grade projects are sponsored by Butler Machinery Company and CTE Global Incorporated. Division 3 members have individual projects. In third place from Leola, Tegan Weezar. In second place from Dolan, Brix Bowick. And in first place from the Belfouche FFA chapter, Bronson Brink. Congratulations. Division 4 members have team projects. In third place from Wilmot, Brandy Moser and Owen Admin. In second place from Wilmot, Asher Locke and Elijah Hansen. And in first place from McCook Central FFA chapter, Benjamin Bergson and Tyler Adelin. Congratulations. Power, Structure, and Technical Systems Division 5 and 6 are 11th and 12th grade projects and are sponsored by Summit Contracting, RDO Equipment, and Dakota Bank. Division 5 members have individual projects. In third place from Leola, Shelby Gabel. In second place from Leola, Gabriel Ketterling. And in first place from the Northwestern Area FFA chapter, Austin Nash. Congratulations. Division 6 members have team projects. In third place from McCook Central, Hunter Severing and Tanner Thrift. In second place from McCook Central, Tucker Peterson and Luke Horseman. And in first place from the Florence FFA chapter, Emma Caulfield and Addison Byer. Congratulations. Social systems is a study of human behavior and the interaction of individuals in and to society, including agricultural education, agribusiness economics, agricultural communication, agricultural leadership, and other social science applications in agriculture, food, and natural resources. Division 1 and 2 are 7th and 8th grade projects and are sponsored by Chad Washi. Division 1 members have individual projects. In third place from McCook Central, Sawyer Grace. In second place from McCook Central, Arbiella Mortensen. And in first place from McCook Central FFA chapter, Skyler Stiefauter. Congratulations. Division 2 members have team projects. In third place from Montrose, Zachary Gordon and Landon Tweed. In second place from McCook Central, Jeremiah Gadson and Rosie Bergenson. And in first place from McCook Central FFA chapter, Taya Sonner and Addison Schock. Congratulations. Social Systems Division 3 and 4, 9th and 10th grade projects and are sponsored by BASF, Prairie Grain Partner LLC, and South Dakota Biotech Association. Division 3 members have individual projects. In third place from West Central, Emma Gertitz. In second place from McCook Central, Alyssa Rolling. And in first place from the Belfouche FFA chapter, Aaliyah Lennon. Congratulations. Division 4 members have team projects. In second place from McCook Central, Haley Highmiller and Sydney Highmiller. And in first place from McCook Central FFA chapter, Alexis Schock and Emery Gottjob. Congratulations. Social Systems Division 5 and 6, 11th and 12th grade Agri-Science project are sponsored by Ben and Jennifer Rowling, Pioneer Corteva, Bankwest, and FMNE. Division 5 members have individual projects. In third place from Canton, Anthony Auden. In second place from Kin, Jasmine Oliver. And in first place from the Dells FFA chapter, Jasmine Junker. Congratulations. Division 6 members have team projects. In third place from McCook Central, Alyssa Lewick and Lilia Vanderblackcom. In second place from Dells, Riley Klein and Paige Jarretts. And in first place from the West Central FFA chapter, Cambry Eicher and Ashton Nilsson. Congratulations to everyone. Best of luck at competing at the National Agri-Science Fair. Up this year's Agri-Science Fair, and clearly our members brought the same energy as a certain founding father who never stopped writing things down.
Seriously, the creativity, the innovation, the ambition. This room was full of members who aren't waiting for change, they're already making it.
But even the best ideas don't happen alone. Behind every successful student is someone saying, yes, try that, and occasionally, have you tried turning it in on time?
These are the people working behind the scenes, steady, supportive, and somehow make everything run smoothly without asking for credit.
If tonight shows us the future, these individuals are the reason it happens in the first place.
Madam Vice President, please introduce our Distinguished Service Award recipients.
The Distinguished Service Citation honors organizations, agencies, and businesses or other groups who have made outstanding contributions to FFA and agricultural education on a state level. Carrie Sanders. Carrie Sanders has served as a judge for many state and district level activities for several years. In addition, she has been active in the local chapters, always supporting students in their pursuit for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success. She has also received an honorary state degree from the South Dakota FFA Association. Cattle Resources. Cattle Resources has supported FFA members by donating cattle and other livestock for various CDE competitions. For our West River chapters, finding animals for their practices can sometimes be difficult, but with their help, these students have had the opportunity to have quality practices to build their livestock skills. In addition, they have also supplied judges for the contests, ensuring that our students can excel in their chosen competitions and prepare for future endeavors. Bouquets and Brushstrokes. The Bouquets and Brushstrokes Flower Shop has partnered with our local FFA chapters to help prepare students for CDE contests. They have opened up their shop for students to practice, as well as provided internship and job opportunities for local students. They have also volunteered to judge at the State Floriculture Contest for the past few years and help provide positive feedback to participants. Terry Reekman. After more than 4 decades of dedicated service, Terry Reekman is retiring from his role as an agricultural educator and FFA advisor at McCook Central. Since 1984, he has been a steady source of guidance, support, and inspiration for countless students in Salem, helping shape not only a strong agriculture leaders, but even stronger individuals. His impact extends far beyond his classroom, with years of service to both the state and national FFA organizations, contributing to the growth and success of agricultural education at every level. His legacy is reflected in the achievements of his students, the strength of the McCook Central FFA chapter, and lasting influence he has had on the community. A1 Al's Pheasant Ranch.
A1 Owl's Pheasant Ranch has helped the Bridgewater Emory FFA chapter and surrounding chapters in multiple ways through organizing the Natural Resources CDE at the Bridgewater Emory CDE to hosting special recognition events in the area. This business has helped above the chapter levels as well as serving as judges for various district CDE events, statewide proficiency applications. They continue to provide abundant opportunities for growth and success within the natural resources area. Wendy Sweeter. For many years, Wendy Sweeter has spent state conventions seated in the front row with a camera in hand, capturing irreplaceable moments at state FFA convention. In addition to her photography skills, Wendy spends time and resources to ensure that local contests at Tri-Valley, Lenox, and more are successful. Wendy has dedicated her life to youth advancement, celebrating the successes of others and ensuring that members have opportunities to succeed and grow. Wirt Farms. The Wirt family has been longtime supporters of FFA and have always been supporters of local youth. For many years, Wirt Farms has assisted with the District 3 CDE by providing livestock for the livestock evaluation contest and have also helped at the Turner County Fair. They are dedicated to the success of all 4-H and FFA members and go out of their way to ensure that these members have the opportunity to learn about and exhibit quality livestock. Marv Post. From supporting his own children and grandchildren to encouraging numerous other students, Marv is one of the state's leading dairy advocates. He has helped coach judging teams, leased cattle for kids to show, and provided opportunities for students to apply for placement proficiencies by hiring them to work on his dairy. In addition, he has opened his farm to judging schools and practice opportunities for those students wanting to enhance their judging abilities. His support has allowed numerous members to obtain all levels of FFA degrees. Sadie Fry. Sadie Fry is an alumni and one of the first members of the Northwestern Area FFA chapter. She has continuously used her time and abilities to serve the South Dakota FFA and has served as a judge for the Employment Skills LDE competition on both the district and state level for the past few years. She spends countless hours each year reviewing students' written materials for contests, offering her expertise to improve the quality of our competitors. Sadie was also a member of the 2019-2020 state officer team where she served as the reporter. The Meat House. The Meat House has made a lasting impact on local FFA chapters. They have opened their doors to members to come in and see the process of meat processing and have assisted in local contests and coached various meats teams in the area. Their impact has allowed students to learn more about meat quality contests and prepare them for a future career in the meat industry. SDSU Department of Animal Science. The SDSU Animal Science Department willingly allows South Dakota FFA to use their facilities for several CDE events at state convention. Many professors in the Animal Science Department fully support and help put on CDE contests, while animal science students go with the flow as classrooms get rearranged to work with these contests. West Central High School. The West Central High School has hosted the State Agri-Science Fair event for the past 3 years. This state-level event showcases our agriculture innovators, and having adequate space to host this event ensures our students are able to showcase their work each year. In addition to hosting, the school staff has helped serve meals, assisted with finding judges, and provided technical support to make sure the event was successful.
Thank you again for your commitment to the FFA. Your support is greatly appreciated.
You know, Kate, I've been thinking.
Please don't.
Relax. I'm not going to sing. Just this. Real impact isn't made in a single moment. It's built over years of commitment.
By mentoring, teaching, and showing up when it matters most.
Their work did not end with one achievement.
It became a legacy.
And that's worth honoring.
Tonight we'll be honoring recipients of the Honorary FFA degree, recognizing those whose lifelong service and commitment continues to strengthen agricultural education and the FFA.
And don't worry, this is one moment where I promise not to sing Hamilton.
It is always an honor to recognize our valued FFA alumni and supporters with the Honorary FFA degree. The purpose of this ceremony is to recognize from time to time the effort of others made on our behalf. Madam Secretary, please read the section of the National Constitution which provides for honorary membership.
Honorary FFA degree. Farmers, school superintendents, principals, members of boards of education, chapter advisors, teachers, staff members in agricultural education, business people, and others who are helping advance agricultural education and the FFA and who have rendered outstanding service may be elected to receive an honorary FFA degree by a majority vote of members present at any regular meeting or convention.
Madam Secretary, will you introduce those who are to receive this honor?
Mr. President, members, and guests, I am pleased to read the following names. Please hold all applause until the end.
Far above and beyond to improve the quality of not only the state meets contest, but local contests as well. She spends a substantial amount of her own time and her department's finances to ensure that local contests are receiving high-quality cuts, learning-focused classes, and affordable options to run their contests. She is an advocate of expanding the state meets contest and worked through the logistics of having 2 rotations to ensure that more students were able to participate without sacrificing the quality of the contest. Andrew Barron. Dr. Barron is the high school principal of the West Central School District and has been a key supporter of hosting the State Agri-Science Fair for several years, ensuring we have a space to offer students from not only his school, but statewide, the opportunity to compete in the state agri-science competition. He does all of this on a volunteer basis. Educator at the Mass Education Program. Prior to becoming an advisor, Biggie served as a sentinel on the 2018-2019 South Dakota FFA State Officer Team, and as a member of the stage crew for the 2020, 2021, and 2022 State FFA Conventions. Jason Burma. Jason Burma is extremely dedicated to ensuring his students have ample opportunities to learn and grow in and outside the classroom. He has worked to build up the Sunshine Bible Academy FFA chapter and ag education programs and continues to give his students chances to grow, build life skills, and prepare them for their futures. Amy Carter. Amy Carter is the current agricultural education instructor and FFA advisor for the Canton FFA chapter. Through years of service, she has provided unique opportunities for students, attended national workshops to better her chapter and state, and currently serves as the chair of the SDAAE CDE committee. She works to ensure our contest rules are appropriately written and hold high-quality contests for all FFA members. Joseph Cassidy. Dr. Cassidy has been a supportive member of the SDSU faculty for several years. While he was department head for the Animal Science Department, he prioritized FFA needs during convention and helped ensure that needs were met. Now in his role as Dean of Cafes, he has continued to be an ally in securing spaces, allowing staff to continue to assist, and being a guest speaker at banquets. Bradley Chiak. Bradley Chiak is the ACT teacher and FFA advisor at Redfield High School. He works hard to ensure his students are successful when leaving his classroom. Each spring he hosts a CDE competition which brings in students from across the area and provides an opportunity for them to learn, grow, and practice crucial skills that help them not only in competition but future careers. James Connors. Dr. Connors currently serves as the Associate Dean and Director of Academic Programs and Professor at South Dakota State University College of Agriculture, Food, and Environmental Sciences. In his role on campus, he helps to ensure that the relationship between SDSU and South Dakota FFA remains strong. He has presented workshops and trainings at a variety of conferences and judges the District 2 Parliamentary Procedure LDE each year. Kent Cooley. Kent Cooley began working for NRCS in 1987 as a soil scientist in Webster, South Dakota, and has assisted with setting up the Northeast Regional Contest in Webster in 1987 and 1988. Kent was instrumental with updating the South Dakota Land Judging Book and assisting with writing the South Dakota Homesite Guidebook when introduced to South Dakota in 2008. He was instrumental to the starting of the Lemon Land School in 2017 and has continued to assist with that each year. Roger Courier. Roger Courier has been actively involved in helping district LDE competitions for many years. In addition to serving as a judge, he has helped to find volunteers for other contests and been crucial to helping these contests run smoothly. He has also stepped up and assisted students with ag broadcasting competition, helping students excel with his feedback and assistance. Megan Eckberg. Megan Eckberg has demonstrated exceptional commitment to student leadership and agricultural education over the past 6 years. Her service includes hosting district CDE and LDE events, serving as a District 5 advisor, and acting as assistant liaison for the Range Plant Identification Contest at the state convention. She also serves on the South Dakota FFA Association Board of Directors, the SDAAE Board of Directors, and the Awards and Applications Committee. Mike Frey. Mike Frey has been instrumental in the resurgence of the Langford Area FFA chapter. He is the chair of the Langford Area Ag Advisory Board and has coached different teams for the Langford Area FFA chapter. He also served as a chaperone for different FFA events and is a continuous supporter of the FFA and ag education. His dedication is not just to FFA, but students and agriculture as a whole. He helps ensure opportunities for South Dakota FFA members remain available and that our students can continue to grow and thrive. John Verlheist. John has been a longtime supporter of the Geddes and Platte Geddes FFA chapters. As the primary bus driver, he makes sure all of the students make it safely to all their FFA events. John is passionate about agriculture and knows how valuable FFA is in the lives of his students. He generally cares about each of them and is always looking out for them. Deanna Gull. Deanna Gull is a Turner and Hutchinson County 4-H educator who has dedicated many hours to the betterment of South Dakota FFA members. Deanna has spent many hours as a District 3 judge, giving her expertise in areas of employment skills, ag issues, food science, and more. Deanna also partners with local FFA chapters for mock interviews and building connections between SDSU and chapters through various field days. Deanna is also active in coaching various teams for Freeman and surrounding chapters. Ashley Gilderman. Ashley Gilderman has demonstrated an outstanding commitment to the FFA organization through her continual service and dedication. She has volunteered her time to judge proficiency awards and star applications at both state and national FFA levels. Ashley also assisted multiple times with CDE contests and has been a consistent volunteer for district-level events. Jeanette Grady. Jeanette has worked with McCook Central FFA in helping students with shearing and clipping lambs, hauling them to the state fair, and supervising students when needed. Above the chapter level, she has worked as a judge at the District 4 LDEs and scored numerous online applications. Her dedication to the FFA has shown with her involvement to help all members become better with whatever guidance or advice she can provide. Kayla Graves. Kayla has dedicated her career to teaching and inspiring students, demonstrating a strong commitment to education and agricultural leadership. She has spent her entire preaching career serving District 4, and currently serves as a district advisor, supporting programs, students, and advisors across the district. Marie Jacks. Marie Jacks dedicated over a decade to agricultural education as an agriculture teacher at Dual, where she positively impacted countless students through her instruction and leadership. She also served as a South Dakota FFA Executive Secretary, where she worked closely with state officers, coordinated and planned events, and played a key role in advancing the South Dakota FFA Association. Her commitment and leadership have left a lasting impact on agricultural education and FFA across the state. Madeline Kerr. Madeline Kerr has served South Dakota FFA and its members in a variety of ways, including consistently judging the District 2 Parliamentary Procedure LDE, providing participants valuable feedback that build up their abilities in the contest, but also skills valuable for their future endeavors. Madeline has also served as the South Dakota FFA Foundation Board of Directors, assisting and generating funds to support the needs of the association and its members. Allison Knutson. Through years as an FFA advisor and agricultural educator, Allison has dedicated time to preparing students for success in the agricultural industry by teaching technical skills, leadership, and real-world problem-solving. Through hands-on opportunities in her classroom, she has served as a mentor to help students build confidence and discover opportunities in agriculture and related careers. Sarah Lambert. Sarah Lambert has served as an agriculture education instructor in Fulton and Dolan for over 10 years. Since leaving the classroom, she has continued to serve District 1 as a judge, substitute teacher, and supporter of Dolan FFA chapter. Sarah is an alumni of the Lennox-Sunstrom FFA chapter, and prior to her teaching career, she served as a 2002-2003 state FFA reporter. Sarah McClure. Sarah McClure is a current FFA advisor and ag education teacher at Gettysburg High School. Her recognition as the 2025 District 6 Golden Owl Award recipient shows her passion and dedication to her students and their success in and outside the classroom. She has also been instrumental in growing participation for the World Food Prize competition hosted by South Dakota State University each year. Evan Popasek. During his time as FFA advisor and agricultural education teacher in Wagner, he has devoted his energy to developing the next generation of agricultural leaders. He is deeply committed to creating meaningful opportunities for students and equipping them with the confidence and skills needed to lead the future of agriculture. David Preheim. David Preheim is a faculty member for the T Area School District as the T Area FFA chapter and agricultural education program continued to grow and expand. He saw a need for a second ag instructor position and was a leader in making this become a reality. Just in a few short years after the program started, he's been instrumental in the success of their ag program and ensuring the students continue to have opportunities to excel. Jennifer Rowling has long been a strong advocate for agricultural education by judging for many years at the District 4 LEEs, and with her judging both in person and online for Ag Science Fair over the past years. She has also judged both scholarships and proficiency awards on the state level. At the local level, she helps with judging the Agri-Science Fair, mentoring young members in SAE programs, and volunteering where needed. Susan Radebush is the agricultural educator and FFA advisor for the Ethan FFA chapter. Since starting this new chapter, she has helped her students excel both in and outside the classroom. She is focused on supporting the community, being a safe space for her students, and bettering not only her students but the entire association. She also has served on the South Dakota FFA Foundation Board of Directors. Christy Ryan. Christy has 15 years of service to the South Dakota FFA Association. She has organized the District 5 Horse Evaluation Contest for over 10 years. She serves on the South Dakota FFA Foundation Board and has served as a big sister for other ag teachers for multiple years. She has served as a horse evaluation liaison and assistant liaison for state convention. If she isn't at school or at home, then she is likely at an FFA event. Clayton Sorum. Mr. Sorum is dedicated to guiding students, not only in his chapter, but also in his district and across the state. His dedication towards South Dakota FFA is evident in his willingness to assist any member, offer advice, and helping a hand. At state convention and national convention, he made a point to talk to South Dakota members and helping them feel welcomed, involved, and find their place in a large and uncomfortable setting. Mr. Sorum has also been a point of reference, assisting state officers in making South Dakota FFA better for all its members. Shane Thill. Chanthil has served as the Director of Career and Technical Education at the Mitchell CTE Academy. He is a dedicated supporter of the Mitchell FFA chapter who consistently encourages members and takes time to check in on their activities and accomplishments. His genuine interest in student growth, continuous involvement, helps strengthen the chapter and motivates members to strive for success. Through his support, he has made lasting positive impact on Mitchell FFA and its members. Casey Truckee. Casey Truckee has dedicated her career to agricultural education, inspiring students through both classroom instruction and FFA involvement. Her commitment to mentorship, leadership development, and hands-on learning has made a lasting impact on countless students. Through years of service to Lennox Sunstrom and South Dakota FFA, she has helped cultivate a passion for agriculture and success in the next generation. Anna Weidrich. Anna is a proud Howard FFA alum who has continued to dedicate her time and talents to support the FFA well beyond her high school years. She served on the South Dakota State FFA Convention stage crew while in college at SDSU, has volunteered annually to host and assist with Howard FFA officer interviews, and has served as a judge for District 2 leadership development events. In addition to her local and district support, Anna represented South Dakota FFA at the state level as a South Dakota State FFA ambassador from 2019 to 2020. Through her service, mentorship, and unwavering commitment, Anna exemplifies the spirit of lifelong involvement and leadership that the FFA stands for.
Will the officers take their places beside me?
I welcome you as friends of the FFA. It is my privilege as Sentinel to extend to each of you the symbolic hand clasps of friendship and brotherhood.
As a reporter, I am pleased to inform you that the FFA is a national youth organization whose purpose is to develop agricultural leaders. Congratulations on this honor.
Your contribution as a useful citizen in our democracy serves as an example for our members to follow. As treasurer, I thank you for your service to our organization.
The FFA needs guidance and counsel from its recognized leaders. It is my pleasure as secretary to add your name to the roll of honorary degree recipients.
As Vice President, I thank you for all that you have provided to the FFA. I would inform you that our members learn to appreciate the dignity of labor. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much.
On behalf of every member, I wish to say that we are proud to have you as honorary FFA degree recipients. May this recognition prove valuable to all. I impress upon you that we look to you for counsel and guidance. It is because of the great respect we have for you that you have been elected to receive the honorary FFA degree. On behalf of the South Dakota FFA Association, I extend to you the adult membership of the South Dakota FFA Association.
Audience, as a reminder, please be respectful of those being recognized on stage and remain from talking unless clapping or cheering. Also, please keep the center aisle clear.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became America's best-selling trucks. And we've kept that title every year since. F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years. And Ford, the most awarded brand for initial quality among trucks by J.D. Power.
Current and qualified Ford owners get $7,500 in total savings on a new 2026 Ford F-150. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
These members have stepped up in their agricultural education areas. The recognition of these 8 individuals advances beyond the chapter level. As their STAR applications were reviewed, candidates were interviewed, and stars were selected from each district.
A district Greenhand strives to enhance their knowledge and achieve new heights during their time in FFA. The honor of being a district Greenhand represents the hard work and dedication they put forth in their supervised agricultural experiences. The cash and plaque awards are sponsored as a special project of the South Dakota FFA Foundation by Central Farmers Cooperative. Madam Reporter, please introduce our District Star Greenhands.
District 1, Ty Haskell, Doland. District 2, Cooper Vanderwall, Sioux Valley. District 3, Jade Tweet, Beersford. District 4, Taylor Hawley, Bridgewater Emory. District 5, Kate Blair, Belfouche. District 6, Hayes Christensen, Wessington Springs. District 7, Charlie Cody, Tri-Valley. And District 8, Maya Bauer, Lemon. Congratulations.
Hello everyone, I am Court Ryan from the Bison FFA chapter. I first met Skyler at the West River Leadership Retreat where, when I first arrived, I had no friends and wanted nothing to do with the camp because, honestly, I was homesick. As the days passed, I got closer to Skyler and we found that we had some similarities between us. I wasn't a huge talker by any means, but Skyler pushed me to talk to some of the people that were within our group, and this helped me develop as a person, and for me, he has changed my way of looking at things and therefore made me a better person.
Hi, my name is Braylon Plucker, and I'm from the Parker FFA. Skyler is my brother. Skyler's always seen the potential in me, even though when I couldn't see it in myself. He's consistently pushing me and others around him to be the best versions of themselves. I know he'll continue to do this, just knowing the person that he is. I'm proud to be his brother.
Hi, my name is Sutton Plucker, and I'm from the Parker FFA chapter. I am Skyler's other little brother. Whether he is milking cows, showing dairy, hunting, or fishing, He does everything with passion. He has an incredible ability to make everyone around him feel welcome, and I'm incredibly proud to call you my role model.
It is a privilege to share with you my friend,
our brother,
and your 2025-2026 South Dakota FFA State Sentinel, Skyler Plucker, as he gives his retiring address.
We often get paid with things like experience, life skills, and the occasional pizza, if someone remembers to order it. One thing's for sure, we thrive off of getting no sleep and fixing random problems. Now, that reminds me of a movie I think most of us can relate to. It's where this kid named Daniel really wanted to learn karate. So he went out and found a teacher, Mr. Miyagi. And the first couple things Mr. Miyagi had him do was sand a deck, wash and wax all of his vehicles, paint a fence, and paint a house. And after Daniel was done doing all these things, he was frustrated. He was mad because he thought he should be learning karate, not doing Mr. Miyagi's chores. Little did he know. Now, come with me to when I was 3 years old, learning my favorite hobby of all time, fishing. I got my brand new Spider-Man fishing pole, and I'm at my grandpa's pond. And we're rigging up my line. We put a hook on the bottom, a little weight, and then a bobber right up top. And then I was able to put my very own worm on. And then we walk out to the pond. I look up at my grandpa as he cast all the way to the middle of the pond, thinking to myself, that was pretty good. But I'm going to one-up him, and I'm going to outfish him. So I get ready to cast. I start to pull my rod back, I close my eyes, and I cast out, making it 3 feet off of shore. I look up at my grandpa. I don't think he noticed. So I reel up, I close my eyes, and I cast out again, making it to the exact same spot. Now I know my grandpa's noticed me. And as I look up, he goes, "Hey, Hoss, do you want some help?" I smile and I go, "Absolutely." I try to reel up my fishing pole, and I try to hand it to him. He goes, "No," and pushes my fishing pole back down towards me. He goes, "I will tell you and teach you how to do it. I will not do it for you." So he starts to explain to me things like, hey, it's not a baseball bat. Don't swing it. Go over your head, cast, and follow through. Well, that's dumb. That's exactly how I was doing it. Why can't my way work, and why do you do it just so good? This is dumb. When I think of my 3-year-old self, I think of one thing: pride. Now, fast forward to me to just a few years ago. I'm at the Turner County Fair. It's Tuesday, poultry show day, my day. Now, I walk up to grab my light brown leghorn hen out of the pen. I wipe down her feathers, look at her comb. It's good. Her wattles, perfect. Her beak, she's ready to show. Okay, I got a show in 20 minutes over there. I think I can get showmanship done beforehand and still have time to prep my bird. So I start walking over to the showmanship table. And that's when I see Buck. Now, Buck, he's a 7-year-old with some of the most energy I have ever seen a 7-year-old have. When he's in a room, it's always a good time. But Buck is not acting his usual self. He's coming up to me. And as he gets up to me, he goes, "Hey, Skyler, can you help me show my chicken?" I look down at Buck and say, "Oh, you got it. You come from a show background. I know you've never shown a chicken before, but it's similar. You got it, Buck." He goes, "Skyler, I don't want to do this because I don't know how to do this." Whoa. Buck just did something my 3-year-old self struggled with, and I today still struggle with. Admitting we don't know how to do something. How can we be like Buck? Is it on that CDE team we've been on since we were a freshman? That sport we've been playing since we were little? Or that hobby we've spent hours perfecting? How can we be like Buck? You see, when we set our pride aside, we set ourselves up to be humble. Humility is the beginning of coachability, and coachability is the beginning of growth. Daniel had to let go of his pre-made ideas of karate to learn. I had to be willing to listen to my grandpa to learn how to cast. And Buck had to be willing to go outside of his comfort zone and admit he didn't know what he was doing. We first need to put our pride aside to be humble. Second, we need to use that humility to be coachable. And third, we need to step up and be the coach for others when the time presents itself. South Dakota FFA, humility builds coachability.
Thank you for keeping the conversation going, continuously supplying the snacks, especially the pink starburst, always being up for a milk and cheese run, keeping Nickelback alive, and always having scuffles about slender cows. Your love and passion for members has continued to serve us through this year. South Dakota FFA, our 2025-2026 State Sentinel, Skyler Plucker.
Mr. Wilson, although our time was short, it still made a huge impact on me. You were so eager to get me started in FFA and on the dairy team, even though I was just a 7th grader. Even after you were no longer my advisor, you were still willing to offer a helping hand in everything I did. Thank you. Mr. Duxbury, you were the person who truly started the fire for FFA inside of me. From convincing me that I had a shot at winning a star as a freshman, to pushing me to start a team in poultry evaluation as an 8th grader. You always wanted me to succeed in both FFA and in life. You never gave up on an opportunity, and I appreciate everything you did for me. Mrs. Truckee, you were always the kind of person who allowed me the space to discover my own passion and interests. You helped me understand that sometimes less is truly more, that stepping back, simplifying, and letting life unfold can teach me more than trying to control every detail. I was always eager to hop on the wagon wheel alongside you, knowing we were probably going to hit a curve along the way. South Dakota FFA, please help me in thanking my advisors, Jim Wilson, Brady Duxbury, and Casey Trump. Mom, even though you didn't grow up in FFA, you were one of the best coaches and mothers I could have ever had. From spending countless hours listening to me recite the creed to helping me work through my grammar on my AET, you were always willing to help me go the extra mile and do whatever it took. Dad, you were the person I always inspired to be growing up. I would have not had the motivation to accomplish as much as I did without you pushing and encouraging me along the way. From the late nights we spent watching our new heifers to the hours you spent preparing me for interviews, you always knew what to do next and exactly what to say in every situation. Braylon and Sutton, you two kept me on my toes in everything that I did. You two were both my biggest students and teachers at the same time. I'm truly excited for what your two FFA stories will look like. South Dakota FFA, it is my honor to introduce to you my family and present my parents, Stuart and Brenda Plucker, with their honorary state degrees.
George Washington loved some competition.
Me too. And since competition clearly built this country, we thought, why not bring a little of it onto the stage?
We're bringing our members up for a quick challenge.
Members? Representing this side of the arena will be EC and Molly, and representing this side of the arena will be Alinea and Cooper. One partner will throw the stars, and the other will catch them in their bucket.
You'll have 10 seconds. The team with the most stars in their bucket will win some FFA merch. Are you ready?
Contestants ready? On your marks, get set, go!
All right, let's give a look. And the winner is, drumroll please, it's a tie!
Let's give our contestants a round of applause. That was impressive.
That competition was pretty intense, but the competition to become a star finalist is on a whole different level.
These members have put in years of hard work, dedication, and determination. Becoming a star finalist is not easy. It is an achievement that truly sets them apart.
They represent the very best of our organization and have earned every bit of this recognition. While maybe they didn't need a musical written about them,
they absolutely deserve a standing ovation.
And now, with pride and excitement, we present this year's Star Finalists.
Star finalists presented tonight with their parents and advisors represent the top of South Dakota FFA members' supervised agricultural experiences who have earned their state degrees this year. The Star in Agri-Science Award recognizes FFA members that demonstrate the top agri-science-based supervised agricultural experience in the state. Members from across the state step up and engage in conducting their own cutting-edge research to better the agricultural industry following the scientific method.
My name is Carly Klinkhammer, and I am from the McCook Central FFA chapter. I began my Agri-Science Fair projects in 7th grade when my teacher influenced me to conduct research in order to improve my skills within the area. One challenge within my SAE is failed Agri-Science Fair projects. Whenever you're doing a project, you never know what could go right and what could go wrong. My hardest project was my junior year project, where we tried to test and see how glucose is turned into sucrose in your stomach and how much sugar is really within your foods. To dilute the products, we had to add water to the product, and then hopefully it would melt into the water, and then we would separate it. So there were some trials where one container would have more honey than others, so then that one would have a higher sugar amount in that container. I am learning great skills that I will be able to use within my future career. At WC, I was able to meet so many new people and build these relationships that I would not have gotten before. I was able to create my Living to Serve plan, which I have done this past year. My greatest mentor has definitely been my egg advisors, Terry Reekman, and then my former egg advisor, Tracy Chase. They are the two people that really pushed me to complete these projects and fill out that application. They've answered any questions I've had. They've helped me get materials, and they've looked over my papers to make sure I'm getting my words across correctly and I'm saying what I want to say. I would not be here today without those two helping me through my projects. Advice that I would give to people who have not started their SAE yet is to just start as early as you can. It's easier to have more information to go off of to fill out that application if you start earlier. And then also just conducting that research and starting and being like, oh, I don't want to do this. This is like, I just don't think this is something I would enjoy. Because I did not think that I would enjoy Agri-Science Fair projects, but conducting that research and learning so much about my project and learning about that sugar in foods just really helps to show you what you could maybe do in your future career.
My name is Kaylee Klinkhammer, and I am from the McCook Central FFA chapter. My SAE started in 7th grade when I decided to join FFA. I was introduced to the aspect of agri-science projects, and I was very intrigued by conducting research and creating a project that was meaningful to more people than just me. The key elements within my SAE include forming prior research to kind of give myself background knowledge before creating my hypothesis and starting my research project. This helped me understand what I would be performing and how to perform the project in the best way possible and create the biggest results. When I first started, I had no background knowledge, and I was very unfamiliar with agri-science projects. Throughout doing them, I was learning and I was gaining more skills, and I was learning how to conduct better research and higher advanced projects. This overall taught me that I can do harder things within FFA, and I can help others conduct these projects. My favorite project was the conversion of sucrose to glucose. As I am going into the medical field, it was just a very intriguing project to me, and it showed me that some projects are harder, but they are more interesting. I would like to study human biology for my undergraduate and then attend medical school. FFA has brought me so many meaningful experiences, but my most favorite is definitely attending Washington Leadership Conference. Throughout this event, I met many friends and learned so many life lessons. It showed me how to be a leader within my community. Mentors that have made the most impact on me are my former egg advisor, Tracy Chase, and my current egg advisor, Terry Reekman, and they have just been right next to me whenever I needed them to answer any questions, to guide me along in difficult situations. SAEs are difficult in the beginning, but as you continue doing them, you show yourself that you can do so many more things if you just go for it and you aren't scared of those setbacks and problems that you may face.
My name is Isabel Mack, and I'm a member of the Tri-Valley FFA, and I'm a senior at Tri-Valley High School. When I started my SAE, it was when a good friend of mine decided to ask me if I wanted to do an agri-science project with her. I had never experienced what an agri-science project was like, so it was a new experience to me. That set the ball rolling for the beginning of the rest of my agri-science projects when we won 2nd place, testing what consumers are really paying for in ground beef. So we're testing different percents of meat to see if you're paying for more water or more fat. We did 3 different meats, 93, 80, and 73. We decided that 80 was the most adequate for people because it had that ratio of fat to lean portion where it wasn't too much fat and too much water compared to that of 73. And 93. We talked to an industry professional about meat, and we learned a lot. How different cooking methods affect the meat, what meat to get, what consumers really are paying for. And she also gave us insight on the projects she's also previously done. And that really stepped it up for me compared to my last 2 projects where I just researched. Some people aren't supposed to have like a fattier meat. And when people go straight on the lean meat, it's not very good. It loses that flavor from the fat. So I think that the 80 is pretty solid because it has not as much fat and it still has enough leanness to be healthy enough. This SAE project has helped me through teaching me how to communicate with others, leadership. When I graduate, I'm going to go to school to be a nurse. And in nursing, there's a lot of networking and talking and communicating. Probably the best experiences come from testing out experiences like the projects I've done through Agra Science. Because you learn stuff, you get to communicate, you get to tell people, inform people about stuff, informing them the most important knowledge of meat, chickens, they've got so many categories. And it also teaches you lessons. And it teaches you more about the things you're teaching others. And it really relates to egg also.
My name's Atlee Olson, and I'm with the Belfouche FFA chapter. I come from a cattle background, and I've grown up helping my parents with their beef cattle veterinary practice and going with them on vet calls and to each operation. I really looked at everything and I wondered, how can it be better? I want to find new technologies within agriculture and find problems that producers are facing and see how I can help them implement a better, more efficient method to help their overall operation. The biggest challenge with my SAE was that the questions that I was asking did not have easy textbook answers. I had to actually go out there, find the right mentor, find the right veterinarian, find an operation who would let me conduct an analysis on their herd, and a lot of that required getting wrong answers. The FFA motto has really come into play with my agri-science. My projects are finding real problems that real producers are facing, and it means something different now than it did in the beginning. I'm trying to find solutions that help producers become more efficient and keep their operations more sustainable. My future goals are to do everything. I want to learn about every industry, every problem, every issue, and I want to invent something to help people. My most meaningful experience in FFA has been getting to build a network with people. My biggest mentor has been my mom. She has not only helped me just with her veterinary expertise, but also pushing me to a standard, helping me identify what the real problems are within agriculture and what problems cattle producers are facing. Just do it. You're gonna feel so proud of yourself, and it's an amazing opportunity for you. It's an amazing opportunity for our peers. They get to see how far we've come and what we have done, and you are gonna feel so proud of it.
The State Star in Agri-Science is sponsored by Glacial Lakes Energy, supporting the mission and vision of this award through the foundation. The finalists in no particular order are Carly Klinkhammer, McCook Central, parents Ryan and Holly Klinkhammer, advisor Mr. Terry Riekman. Kaylee Klinkhammer, McCook Central, parents Ryan and Holly Klinkhammer, advisor Mr. Terry Riekman. Isabel Mack, Tri-Valley, parents Bart and Rosemary Mack, advisor Mr. Tanner Peterson. Atlee Olson, Belfouche, parents Tim and Shandy Olson, advisor Mr. Austin Bishop. And the 2026 State Star in Agri-Science is, from the Belfouche FFA chapter, is Atlee Olson, parents Tim and Shandy Olson, advisor Mr. Austin Bishop. Congratulations, Atlee. The next star to be crowned in this evening's is the State Star in Agribusiness. The Star in Agribusiness Award recognizes FFA members with the top non-production agribusiness supervised agricultural experience in the state. Whether it is starting a nonprofit or being the CEO of their very own agricultural business in high school, South Dakota FFA members step up to make a difference in their communities.
I'm Bobby Eide from the Gettysburg FFA chapter. My brothers and I started a garden when I was little. When my brother started FFA, he used the garden as his SAE, and then when he graduated, I took over the business and bought his tools and equipment, and then I grew and expanded the gardening business. I am learning all the time. As an 8th grader, when I took over from my brother, it was very hard to learn all about the financial aspects of it and keeping track of how much money I spent on seeds or water or how much money I made each year. One of my future goals is becoming an egg teacher. So when I'm teaching a plant science, horticulture, or floriculture class, I can use my personal experience to help students understand. Education is something we are all passionate about, especially as FFA members. We're always trying to find new opportunities, always trying to learn the why behind the what. I would say one of my biggest supporters and helpers is my mom. She always tells me I can do it all, just not all at once, and I have to keep reminding myself of that. Start early, be excited about it, because you have to want to put in the work. You can't, other people can't want it more than you do.
Hello, I'm Noah Felderman. So I began my SAE in the summer of 2020. It was COVID year and I didn't really have a lot of stuff to do, of course. And so I was thinking, what could I do at our Lake Ponce community that people would enjoy, I would enjoy. And so I started my business, Feldy's Ice Cream, in 2020. I started out of the back of a side-by-side with a freezer in the back, and once I started in 2020, I kind of just kept growing up and leveling up from there, and now I have a full brick-and-mortar location along with 2 mobile units that go to events across South Dakota. We sell a variety of different products. We work a little bit with SDSU and their dairy plant for their ice cream, and then we also sell Ashby's ice cream out of Michigan. So some of the key elements, I started off with just myself when I was 12 years old. In South Dakota, you have to be 14 to have a driver's license. So that was one of my issues, and so I had to recruit my mom and dad to drive our side-by-side in order to grow my business and continue operating it. So once I started being able to drive to more events and booking more events, I had to add my first employees. And after I added my first employees, I was like, well, this works. People like this. I can be at a lot more events at one time with more people working. And so now I currently have 12 employees and 1 manager. So the FFA motto has actually played a big part in starting my business, and not only starting it, but building it to what it is now and to continue to grow. So I think that's what FFA is all about. I mean, you're working with other people, you're trying to better yourself, and I think overall, owning a business really contributes to all of those different factors in there. My advisor, Mrs. Bailey Coates of Doland, and if it was not for her, I don't think I'd be where I would be at in FFA or in my business. Never too late to start an SAE. It's never too late to build something new. And if you're not going to try it, then you're never going to know what it's like. So it's best to try it and see where that goes. There's always going to be failures. I know I've had a ton of failures trying to grow and start things, and some things don't work out, and that's okay, because then you're able to build off them. So I'd say you just need to try it, get going with it, and see where it takes you. It might not work out, but you're not going to know if you don't try.
I'm Mercedes Jones. I'm from the Wessington Springs FFA chapter. My SAE project started 3 years ago when my mom brought the idea to me to start a cut flower farm. We started by planting seeds into little soil blocks. Then we transplanted those soil blocks out into our garden, and then they began to grow. When we got to harvest the flowers and cut them and design them and then deliver them to our customers, I found where my passion truly lied. The key elements within my SAE are growing florals and then selling them to our customers. All of our florals are grown here in South Dakota, and they are grown from either seed or they're transplanted from plugs. Then we take those plugs and we're able to let them grow, and then we cut those flowers to use in our work. My SAE represents the FFA motto because everyone starts from a base level. For me, that was with flowers. I knew a little bit about arranging, but I knew nothing about horticulture or seed starting. So through some incredible mentorship, I was able to learn those needed skills in order to succeed in this field. Then, I have been able to share my knowledge with others through on-farm events or floral workshops. My SAE has helped me prepare for my future goals because I want to be a business owner someday. And when we created my SAE, we started from absolutely nothing. No knowledge, no experience. So it has taught me how, through grit and determination, you can build a business as long as you are determined to do it. It has also taught me about mentorship and how important that aspect is. And there's always somebody out there willing to help you and answer those hard questions that you need to ask. So in the future, when I go to start my own business, or even in college, I know that I can rely on the people around me and work hard to succeed. For me, my mom was the reason that I'm here as a star today. She pushed me to fill out the application, but beyond that, she was the one who pushed me to do incredible things within my SAE, including planting new varieties, learning how to grow ranunculus, and using a low tunnel, and then just the fact of learning how to do hard work and be very prideful with whatever it is that I produced.
Hi, my name is Keegan Ketwig. I'm from Parker FFA chapter. So I began my SAE about 5 years ago. I started in our little shed behind our house. I just made like little things out of horseshoes, like art projects and stuff just for fun. And then my mom's friend had a business, like a clothing store in town, and she put them in her window, and then she sold some out of there. And my first big project was I worked for some people up in DeSmet, South Dakota, and I started making freestanding cattle panels for them, working for them. And then I didn't want to work for them anymore. I kind of wanted to go off on my own and work on their own place. And so then they got in contact with me, and I asked them if they wanted to buy some panels if I made some, and then he just decided he would buy the material for me, and then I'd just make them for him. He'd just pay me so much per panel. And then I really started getting into that, cattle panels, and I still make them, quite a few of them every year. Biggest challenge is my SE, bookkeeping. It's easy to do the work, hard to keep track of the work. It's in managing money. How I overcame that challenge is my grandma's a very good bookkeeper. Both my grandmas are, and they really nag on me about keeping good books. She helped me set up a QuickBooks thing, and that's how I keep track of all that. And something I learned from it is if you don't keep track of everything, when it comes time to pay your taxes, you sit down for a long time trying to figure out where these receipts are and what you spent, and going through the bank and figuring out where your money went. So, but it's worth keeping track of your books. I think my SAE is going to really help me because farming isn't a full-time thing around the year, and there's only so many things to do in the winter with the cattle. And then just an extra side of income, because it's always good to have another income besides just one thing. So our ag teacher, Kelly Dunkelberger, she has helped me a lot with this project, and it really made me sit down. I don't want to do it, so she just, Keegan, we got to sit down and do this. And another one is my grandpa. He lets me use his shop for free. He sacrifices a lot of space in our shop for me to do what I do, and he has been a big help that way too.
This area is sponsored by Farm Credit Services of America through the South Dakota FFA Foundation. The finalists in no particular order are Bobby Eide, Gettysburg, parents Sean and Jerry Eide, advisor Mrs. Sarah McClure. Noah Felderman, Dolan, parents Chad and Maddie Felderman, advisor Mrs. Bailey Coates. Mercedes Jones, Wessington Springs, parents John and Katie Jones, advisor Mr. Brady Dugsbury. Keegan Ketwig, Parker, parents Jim and Sarah Ketwig, advisor Mrs. Kelly Dunkelberger. And the 2026 State Star in Agribusiness is, from the Dolan FFA chapter, is Noah Felderman, parents Chad and Maddie Felderman, advisor Mrs. Bailey Coates. Congratulations, Noah. The next star in this evening's star pageant ceremony is the State Star in Agricultural Placement. The Star in Agricultural Placement is awarded to the FFA member with the top supervised agricultural experience who worked hundreds of hours in the agricultural industry.
My name is Carly Christ, the Beersford FFA chapter. My SAE is goat placement, and I've been doing this all of high school. I work for my family business, ZW Show Goats, and I live on a small-scale Borgo operation with around 200 head of does. I'm in charge of managing the herd health, so which goats we keep in cull, I'm in charge of doing that. I also do vaccinations, ear tags, burning horns. That's a task that we do throughout January through March, so that's kind of a never-ending task, but I've grown to love this project very much. Probably the biggest challenge from my goat placement SAE is keeping up with everything when it's busy seasons, because a lot of the time the busy seasons for the goats is the same time that I'm busy with my FFA responsibilities and school. Being clear, communicating with my parents of what they expected me to do, and being honest and open with them if I needed help with something. So if I was busy during FFA, if it was FFA week, then I would ask for a little bit of extra help on the weekends with ear tags, and having their help has been a tremendous strength with this project. Doing this project has definitely helped me because I've always been involved in the livestock industry, but when you're involved in so many different parts of FFA and agriculture, you're not really sure what you want to do. So it's definitely opened a lot of doors. Definitely some of the leadership positions that I have taken on throughout FFA, knowing that it's not just about the title, but it's about the impact that you have on members. So whether that's competing or leading others throughout my chapter or even working on my SAE, I've had lots of opportunities to just better myself and better the people around me. My ag teacher is definitely my biggest mentor throughout this project because neither of my parents came from FFA. I wouldn't have known that this was even an opportunity for me without Bridget. She definitely pushed me in this project area as well as throughout FFA in general. So she's definitely helped me become a better leader and a better individual throughout FFA. FFA and your SAE project doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be huge when you start. It's all about your progress. So perfection doesn't matter. It's progress over perfection. And the sooner you start, the faster that you'll learn how it works.
I'm Ashley Haven, a senior at Northwestern. My SAE consists of working for Haven Farms and Haven Harvesting. I started running combine probably when I was between 8 and 10. As the years have gone on, I have improved my responsibilities and have just been gaining more work experience. I'm capable of kind of running a harvest crew, and if we need to split up and Dad's in one field and I'm in the other field, I can kind of run that crew of 8 to 10 people. Kind of depends on what we're doing and how many combines we have running. We harvest across 3 different states, Kansas, Colorado, and South Dakota. And in the fall of this coming year, we'll be adding in Nebraska also. We do 8 different crops, so that's spring wheat, winter wheat, corn, milo, oats, sunflowers, and soybeans. I have to kind of manage how to work with, we have H2A workers, so it's a little bit different, not working with American workers. There's a little bit of a language barrier sometimes, but I have been improving those skills and everything necessary to kind of overtake as the owner-operator, and I love working with my dad. I love working with my sisters. I think the biggest challenge is I'm in sports, and I was still in high school. So during the summer, I'm trying to go back and forth from Kansas and coming back up to South Dakota for volleyball team camps and stuff. And it's definitely time management has been my biggest. I've learned how to manage my time. I'm right there in with the hands-on experience, learning to take over and learning from my dad, and I am working right there in with what I want to be doing in the future. I love I can learn a new thing every day. The tough days are way more essential than the easy days because those are the days where you learn. And it has just improving my skills for the future and improving everything for the future, which is what I want to be doing. And I'm exactly right where I want to be for the future, and I love that I can continue to work in that field. And my SAE has just improved everything immensely.
My name is Ethan Koopman. I'm a senior with Tri-Valley FFA. This will be my 6th year. I started when I was in 7th grade. My now-to-be boss had called me up. He knew me from around the neighborhood. He said, hey, I need somebody to cut grass for me this year. So I came in and I did that, and I just kept on showing back up. And as I began to get bigger, stronger, and more knowledgeable, I began to do more things. So now I've began to operate equipment and drive trucks. The key elements of my SAE would be learning to talk to people. I really enjoy that. And then learning how different structural elements go together, such as lumber, hardware, and screws and stuff like that. I get to learn a lot about trucks and equipment because oftentimes I am the person responsible for the equipment I operate, and so learning how that works and how it works together with everything else is very important to me. A challenge in my SAE was gaining the trust of other people, and especially when I was at such a young age, learning how to do stuff. My future goals is to be a businessman myself and operate and own a business, specifically in construction realm. And so knowing and understanding the components of a construction site, also knowing how to talk to these people and use the language that they're comfortable with is very important, and this job let me do that. You know, my state agri science, when I was a freshman, I really enjoyed putting that together. I tested the difference between, and the efficiency between a gas and diesel, and I really enjoyed doing that. My father, he was very influential in my life of learning, A, how to talk to people, and B, how to work hard. And he taught me how they kind of go hand in hand. Don't be afraid to get outside of your comfort zone, because comfort is where dreams go to die. So you need to be able to experience that and push yourself every day.
Hi, I'm Riley Pankratz with the Parker FFA. When I was 8 years old, my grandpa passed away, so I had to help take over roles at a very young age. That's when I kind of started help, like haul water and rake hay and just do a lot of the smaller stuff. And as I got older, I got more jobs like baling and helping calve at night, stuff like that. Then when I was in 7th grade over the summer, I started working for a dairy, and they had about 120 cows that I would help take care of all summer and work out there, and I got more of the farming side with that. So then I moved over from there, and I went and worked for my dad's friend, and it was mainly all cows, but he has some farm ground, so I was getting exactly what I wanted. And we would just calve cows in the winter, and then we'd ship them out, and I'd check cows all summer, keep up on maintenance, fixing a lot of fence. And then we'd haul them all back. Taught me how to correctly do nutrition in bulls and cows, and just kind of brought it all together while I was still helping my dad at home. What really helped me was learning about the bull sale, having to take pictures and torch and do all that stuff. It really brought me out of my comfort zone, because before we were just doing commercial stuff at my house. So it really just brought it all together, adding bulls into the sale, and just taught me a lot more. It really helps because working with so many different cattle and getting all the experience from bull sales to when they're born, it just makes it completely different. And other than selling just commercial cows, it just is a wide variety that you need to have, so you know all angles. So you're not just putting all your eggs into one basket. You can bring it to different levels. It may be a lot of work, but in the end, it's a way to showcase what you have done in your life to prepare you for these events, and you can put it all into one and show yourself that you have proven to work hard and you have a work ethic.
This star area is made possible by the sponsorship of the Dan Streff family through the South Dakota FFA Foundation. The finalists, in no particular order, are Carly Christ, Beersford, parents Michael and Ann Chris, advisor Mrs. Bridget Tweet. Ashley Haven, Northwestern area, parents Jeremy Haven and Lindsay Haven, and Lauren Haven. Ethan Koopman, Tri-Valley, parents Monty Koopman and Sherry Koopman, advisor Mr. Tanner Peterson. Riley Pankratz, Parker, parents David and Ann Pankratz, advisor Mrs. Kelly Dunkelberger. And the 2026 State Star in Agricultural Placement is From the Beersford chapter is Carly Christ, parents Michael and Ann Christ, advisor Mrs. Bridget Tweet. Congratulations, Carly. Our final star category is the State Star Farmer. The State Star Farmer is awarded to the FFA member that demonstrates the top production agricultural supervised agricultural experience in the state.
Hi, my name is Darla Barnes, and I am with the Lemon FFA chapter. My SAE began because my parents live on a ranch by Caldron, South Dakota, and my love for my SAE kind of started there. One of the best moments of my SAE project, getting to see me in the show ring, like winning and doing well with a calf that I had seen born and like helped it grow to what it became. So that's one of my bigger elements, is I want other 4-Hers and FFA members to experience what I got to experience through my SAE project. A challenge within my SAE was when we had tall cover crop and my heifers developed a significant amount of pink eye. So I learned that I needed to find a treatment option that would work, so I consulted with veterinarians and other producers that had similar experiences, and we developed a vaccine for our particular strain of pink eye. My SAE has taught me more about understanding FFA motto because I am learning all the time. I learned how to AI, I learned how to give veterinary shots, I learned how so many different things. One of the main reasons it sets me up for my future is just the things I've learned through it. So part of my SAE is managing the grasslands, that you have to manage the grasslands to get better cattle. So that's one of the reasons I'm going to SDSU, is to study rangeland ecology. So I can either find a career through like NRCS, Forest Service, or I can just come back to the ranch and just improve my own range lands. My most meaningful experience so far in FFA is when we went to a contest for rangeland days, and we had a judger who had not judged very many plants before, and he was a bit nervous. We had a day of practice, and then the next day was a contest, and he was just struggling to figure it out. And I started coming up with these random, like, funny sayings to remember the plant's characteristics for. And one of the best things about it was we had fun, and then even better, that next day we went and won the contest in Rangeline Days. So my mom and dad have been just a really big part of my SAE. They got me into it in the first place. Live in a moment and have fun while you do it.
Tate and Tweet, Beersford, South Dakota. I started riding colts for a neighbor of mine and started helping my dad with his cows, and then they both helped me get into horses and cattle. Raise Sim Angus calves, back around them for a few months, and then sell them at a sale barn, calve them out, whatnot. And I ride horses for people and horses for myself. I buy and sell horses, break them to rope and ranch. Challenges, riding or making a horse what other people want and not what I want. Overcame that by listening to other people and how they want their horses and putting it all into one and making one good horse, combined with how other people like it and selling it to the general public. There's different ways to break them. Roping, one of them. Like there's head and healing, breakaway, calf roping. I want to raise cattle and ride horses for a living, so I'm kind of right there with it. I'd have to say my dad, he's helped me financially with the horses and the cattle. He got me going on the cattle and got me going on the horses too, and I was able to do a lot of stuff that most kids didn't because he helped me out a lot. If you're going to do it, do it. Don't do it half-hearted.
Hi, I'm Lacey Weber. My SAE started when I was 5 years old, purchasing feeder pigs and feeding them out to market weight finish, and then also partnering with breeders on 2 breeding sows and building those relationships also. Some key elements in my SAE would be learning how to develop those partnerships with. I've been able to not only purchase pigs from numerous different states, but also put pigs back into their programs, such as Indiana, Iowa, and Texas. I've also done local ones within South Dakota and built those relationships. One of my challenges in my SAE was dealing with worms in our livestock. At the time when first starting, my pigs were on a dirt lot, which they're always sniffing in the dirt. One summer, it was hard enough to get them to market weight. By October, they weren't reaching 230, which is not ideal market weight. So then I had to talk to my vet and a swine nutritionist and found out worming every 2 weeks regularly increased the feed, and they were hitting the market weight of 275 easily by state fair. My SAE actually inspired part of my future goals. I'm planning on becoming a livestock pharmacist with a minor in animal health, so help putting back into the industry that created how I am today. So one of my greatest mentors would be John Eilertson, who has helped me since starting at the age of 8. He came up to me showing how not only different ways to work with the pigs and present them best, but also been able to answer any questions that I might have. An advice I give a member is you start when you want to. The second you think about it, go ahead and start. There's not a too early or too late time. Start it now and enjoy it while you can.
Hi, I'm Riley Pankratz. I'm from the Parker FFA. Ever since I was young, I always wanted to have my own cows. So when I was in 7th grade, I finally had the chance to take out a loan and start my own herd. And so I took that opportunity, and you got to buy 5 cows for any amount of money, and it's 0 interest until you're out of high school. So I took that and I bought 5 Red Angus cows, and then I started doing them, and then I really liked it. And the first year I made a good amount of money on my bulls, so I decided to take out another loan to buy some more cows, which our neighbor, he was selling his cows because he was getting out of it. So me and my brother each bought some, and that's kind of where it all started. And then we started working with my dad and just selling bulls on the Shaggy Meadows Red Angus bull sale, and just took off ever since then. Staying up all night watching cows is probably one of the harder parts, but it's still, I think it's fun because you're making sure things are alive and doing all right, and I don't know, it's just all fun to me. You're always out working, problem solving, making sure everything's going right, and just making sure everything's healthy is just a huge part of it. And you gotta take the time and do things right the first time, or else you're just gonna have problem after problem. I think it's taught me a lot about what I'm gonna do in my future, because I'm gonna end up coming back to my family ranch after high school. So learning about cows at a younger age and getting to be a part of it has really pushed me, so I can do more things on my own and be more independent than having to ask my dad for everything. Mrs. D has done a lot of things for me, my ag teacher. She has got me to do all this stuff and do all the paperwork correctly, which I didn't always want to do. Then my mom pushing me to keep doing it, even when there was a lot of other stuff I could be doing. And then just my dad helping me out, helping me to learn everything about the cattle industry so I can keep pushing forward.
The Star Farmer is sponsored by Farm Credit Services of America as a special project of the South Dakota FFA Foundation. The candidates in no particular order are Darla Barnes, Lemon, parents Michael and Dottie Barnes, advisor Mrs. Renee Gebhardt. Taden Tweet, Beersford, parents Jason and Bridget Tweet, advisor Mrs. Bridget Tweet. Lacey Weber, Howard, parents Josh and Charlene Weber, advisor Mrs. Charlene Weber. Riley Pankratz, Parker, Parents David and Ann Pankratz. Advisor, Mrs. Kelly Dunkelberger. And the 2026 State Star Farmer is, from the Parker FFA chapter, is Riley Pankratz. Parents David and Ann Pankratz. Advisor, Mrs. Kelly Dunkelberger. Congratulations, Riley.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
All right, Lainey, Hamilton jokes aside, today we honored leaders, celebrated achievement, and recognized the hard work that keeps this association moving forward.
From past state officers to star recipients, from proficiencies to agri-science winners, and from those receiving their honorary state degree and distinguished service awards, this session reminded us that FFA history is still being written.
And as we listen to our retiring addresses from our state vice president, Josie Nold, and our state sentinel, Skyler Plucker, we were reminded to take what we learned and carry it forward. But members weren't the only ones that stepped up during this session. We'd like to give one more big South Dakota FFA thank you to our session sponsor, U.S. Army.
Remember, leadership isn't about standing in the spotlight.
It's about stepping up when it matters.
So whether you're in costume or not,
we encourage you to leave the third session ready to serve, lead, and step up to make your impact. Be back here at 8 a.m. tomorrow for the fourth and final session of the 98th South Dakota FFA State Convention.
Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
I have a few announcements, Mr. President. Doors will open at 7:30 a.m. for the fourth session.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before the session? We are about to adjourn this, the third session of the 98th South Dakota FFA State Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now declare this session adjourned.